Attention Bears Nation, this is a bomb that's going to shake the entire NFL. What's happening behind the scenes is explosive. First, a defensive monster, an all-pro with over 80 QB pressures last season, could be on the way to Chicago. A $21 million move that would completely transform our defensive line. The team that has him is in salary cap trouble, and we have the money to make it happen. Second, there are burning rumors about draft moves that will leave you breathless. Ryan Poles might be planning something historic with our second-round picks. A strategy that could secure the future of our next franchise QB. The question is it worth the risk? And lastly, hold on because this is incredible. A former Bear, a living legend of our franchise, could be in the running to be our next head coach. Someone who knows the DNA of this team better than anyone and has a revolutionary vision for the future of the NFL. If you want to know all the juicy details of these bombshells, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell because this is just the beginning. Bears Nation is about to experience the biggest change in its history. You can't miss it. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Bears family, get ready because what I'm about to tell you today is absolutely explosive. I'll tell you something. While everyone is focused on our head coach process and Caleb Williams, giant moves are happening behind the scenes. And when I say giant, I mean a potential $21 million bomb that could revolutionize our defense. But you know what's most frustrating? Seeing how our Bears ended the season. I ask you, is it acceptable to be the number 24 team in pass rush? 29 in run stopping? Absolutely not. And this is where this story gets interesting. Because I believe management has a plan, and it's one that involves an all-pro, a true quarterback hunter who just had a monster season. We're talking about 83 QB pressures. 83! And 17 and a half sacks. Can you imagine that kind of production on our defense? Want to know who I'm talking about? I'll give you hints. He plays on a team that has to worry about extending one of the best receivers in the league, Jamar Chase. Have you guessed yet? Trey Hendrickson, ladies and gentlemen. And according to serious reports, he could be available in a sign and trade. Now, let me be completely honest with you. We come from a 5-12 season, suffered 10 straight losses, and some will say, Steven, do we really need to spend that much on a pass rusher? And I answer, absolutely yes. And you know why? Because championship teams are built with elite players. Not with good players, not with decent players. With game changers who make rival quarterbacks have nightmares the night before the game. I tell you this, imagine for a moment Hendrickson on our defensive line. Think about how he would transform our pass rush. How many games did we lose this year because we couldn't pressure the quarterback? How many times did we see rival quarterbacks having all day to throw? And here's the most interesting part. The Bengals are in a tough salary cap situation. Chase is going to demand a monumental contract, and that could force them to make tough decisions. And you know who has the capital and salary space to make a move like this? Exactly, your Chicago Bears. But I'll tell you something else. This isn't just about bringing in a great player. It's about sending a message. It's about saying, the Bears mean business. With Caleb Williams developing, a new head coach on the way, and potentially one of the best pass rushers in the league. Are you going to tell me that doesn't excite you? And for those worried about the price, I ask, how much is it worth to change a team's culture? How much is it worth to have someone who can end up with 15 plus sacks per season? I'll leave you with this question to ponder. If you were Ryan Poles, what would you be willing to offer for Hendrickson? A first rounder? A second plus a player? Because I'll tell you something, opportunities to get players of this caliber don't come around every day. And you know what's most exciting? This could be just the beginning. With the salary space we have, with our draft picks, the Bears could be on the verge of making a quantum leap in the NFL. Bears family, there are explosive rumors about draft moves that could completely change the future of our franchise. And I'll tell you something, this isn't just any rumor. We're talking about a prediction that is Ryan Poles doing something bold, something that could be the difference between success and failure for Caleb Williams. Want to know what I'm talking about? We have the third best set of resources for this offseason in the entire NFL. The third! And I ask you, what do we do with all that power? There are predictions suggesting the Bears could do something dramatic, use their 39th and 41st picks to get back into the first round. And you know for what? To secure 2 elite offensive linemen. We're talking about names like Will Campbell from LSU and Tyler Booker from Alabama. But here's my opinion, and listen closely. Do we really need to sacrifice picks to move up to the first round? I believe not, and I'll tell you why. The guard and center positions, which we need so much, are historically available at the start of the second round. Why pay the first round premium when we can get similar talent in the second? It doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you more, Ryan Poles doesn't need to make desperate moves. What he needs is to hit on his selections. What's the point of having 2 first-round picks if we don't pick the right players? Now, let me be clear on something. Protecting Caleb Williams is priority. We can't allow our franchise quarterback to end up like Justin Fields, running for his life on every play. That's over. I tell you this, with 3 picks in the top 50, we have more than enough ammunition to build a solid offensive line. A tackle in the first round? Perfect. A guard and a center in the second? Even better. And you know what's most exciting? This time there are no excuses. We have the resources, we have the positions identified, and we have a GM who knows the importance of the offensive line. I ask you, Bears family, would you prefer to see Poles be aggressive and move up for 2 first-round picks? Or be patient and maximize value in the second round? Because I believe the answer lies in being smart, not necessarily aggressive. Rome wasn't built in a day, and our offensive line won't be built in a single draft. You won't believe what's happening. This is incredible. When we thought we'd seen it all in the Bears head coach search, a candidate appears that no one expected. Want to know who it is? I'll give you a hint. He was one of the best tight ends in our franchise's history and is currently a better commentator than Tom Brady. Yes, I'm talking about Greg Olsen. And I tell you something, before you start laughing or dismissing this idea, listen to what he said on the Waddle and Sylvie show, because it makes a lot of sense. Olsen poses a question that has me thinking all night. If experience is everything, why are there so many experienced coaches looking for work every year? Boom! Doesn't that make you think? And I'll tell you more. How many coaches do we have in the league who are experts but can't connect with modern players? I believe Olsen has a valid point when he talks about bringing fresh ideas to the NFL. And you know what's most interesting? This man has 14 years of experience as a player, has been to a Super Bowl, has lived through good and bad seasons, and now has a unique perspective from the broadcast booth. Isn't that exactly what we need? I ask you, when was the last time we had a head coach who truly understood the modern player's mentality? Who could communicate effectively with the new generations? Look at the case of J.J. Redick with the Lakers. Who would have thought that a former player with no head coach experience could succeed? And it's working. Now, let's be honest for a moment. Is it risky? Absolutely. But I tell you this, aren't we tired of hiring the same recycled coaches over and over again? Isn't it time to think differently? And there's something else that intrigues me. Olsen directly said the McCaskies have his number. That's not a casual comment. This man is seriously interested in the job. And you know what's best? If this doesn't work, CBS would probably promote him back to his main spot if Brady decides to stay with the Raiders. This man has nothing to lose. I'll leave you with these questions to reflect on. Are we ready for such a bold move? Could Greg Olsen be the innovative leader the Bears need? Or is it too risky to bet on someone without head coach experience? Bears family! Today we've discussed crucial topics that will define the future of our franchise, and I need you to help analyze them together. The possible arrival of Hendrickson has sparked intense debate. What moves would you make to bring this quarterback hunter? Remember that great opportunities require bold decisions. The draft is approaching, and with it, decisions that could change the Bears' history. What strategy do you support? Being aggressive with early picks or patient-seeking value? Your opinion is essential to enrich this discussion. And speaking of transformative changes, the possibility of Greg Olsen as head coach has us all thinking. Do you think it's time to bet on new blood in the team's leadership? Family, this channel is our common home, where every opinion counts and we build the future of the Bears together. If you're not yet part of this passionate community, I invite you to subscribe and activate notifications. Your voice is important and we want to hear it in the comments. See you in the next video. Bear down!